5 and looks at the nurse's understanding of the concepts related to reality orientation. This question is pretty easy to interpret. Which of the following statements by the nurse indicates the best understanding of the principles of reality orientation? Number 1. Good morning, Mr. Edwards. Did you sleep well? It's time to get dressed. Number 2. Good morning. This is your second day in Shady Pines, and I'm your nurse for the day. Number 3. Do you remember who I am? We met yesterday when you were admitted. Or number 4. Good morning. How are you today? I'm your nurse for the day. My name is Mrs. Smith. The correct answer is number 2. Good morning. This is your second day in Shady Pines, and I'm your nurse for the day. This response best orients the client to day, place, and nurse's identity. It contains a clear, concise statement that is not confusing to the client. Another tip to remember is that the correct answer is the only choice that does not involve questioning the client, therefore best represents the principles of reality orientation. The next topic for discussion is eating disorders. Anorexia nervosa and bulimia are two common eating disorders seen mostly with young women. Anorexia is the refusal to eat and involves self-induced starvation. Bulimia, on the other hand, is a binge-purge cycle of eating. The next 3 questions are related to eating disorders. Let's begin with Test 3, number 28. The question reads, the nurse realizes that typical characteristics of girls with anorexia nervosa are which of the following? Number 1. They fail to comply with their parents' wishes or societal expectations. Number 2. They exercise relentlessly. Number 3. They are truthful in reporting their eating habits. Or number 4. They have problems with self-control. The correct answer is number 2. They exercise relentlessly. Many girls will engage in strenuous exercise, like aerobics, in their relentless efforts to lose weight. Anorexics typically are very good, likable students with perfectionistic, rigid behaviors. Anorexics take pride in their ability to exhibit self-control. These girls will also talk truthfully and endlessly about their eating patterns, as stated in choice number 3, and will need to be monitored closely 90 minutes after eating to ensure they do not purge the food. The second question on anorexia comes from Test 4, number 22. It is a moderately difficult question. The question states, an anorexic client tells the nurse that she thinks too much fuss is being made about what she eats. I have plenty of energy and I get all A's in school. I do not think I'm too thin. Look, my hips are fat. What is the most appropriate nursing response to her statement? Number 1. You say your hips look fat to you, but you seem very thin to me. Number 2. Let's go to the mirror so you can see how thin you really are. Number 3. You're such a bright girl, I don't understand how you can do this to yourself. Or number 4. You would be much more attractive if you were not so skinny. If you chose number 1, good choice. You say your hips look fat to you, but you seem very thin to me. The nurse can be most therapeutic by responding to the client in a factual, non-judgmental way that does not support her distorted body image. The client's perception of her body is distorted, and looking in a mirror, as stated in choice number 2, will not change her problem with body image, or convince her she really is very thin. It is very important to note that anorexic clients can be very carefree and bubbly personalities, but are actually very ill and need professional assistance. The last question from your book related to eating disorders comes from Test 5, number 5. In contrast to clients with anorexia nervosa, which of the following characteristics are common among clients with bulimia?